Tom Garrett coming up. He's in the swamp with me. Congressman, 5th District, Virginia. Be with me momentarily. More fake news. The New York Times and the other fake news media going absolutely, oh, man, they're so excited today because of this series of emails and this ridiculous meeting that had nothing to do with about anything by Donald Trump Jr., a good friend of mine, by the way, been on my show, 25 times. And this is like the Jerry Seinfeld show. It's about nothing. This meeting was about nothing. These emails are about nothing. It's all about nothing. But Tim Kaine, your senator from Virginia, he's going around saying it's treason. Okay, what statute did he break? What law was breaking? That doesn't matter. They got their own facts. We don't have them. They got their own facts. The ultimate in Kellyanne Conway alternative facts right there, Tim Kaine. But keep doing it, Senator. Keep calling for treason. Mark Warner, keep doing montages for us talking about impeachment. Keep doing it because you got nothing. So keep doing it. I'm in favor. I want you to keep doing it because, hey, look, it gives us something to talk about. Then, Tim Kaine, when you come up for re-election 2018, then we can evaluate your extensive platform and all the things you're going to do to help the working people of Virginia and the nation, for that matter, getting back to the U.S. Senate, all the things you're going to help. You're going to help the working people of Virginia by your very broad and invigorating platform, which I can sum up in 2 words. This is the new National Democratic Platform. You ready? Here's their message. Are you sitting down? It's only 2 words, short and sweet. Here it is. Trump sucks. And then let's add a little bit to that. Oh, by the way, Donald Trump Jr. and Ivanka Trump, they suck too. That's their platform. That's why you're going to vote for them. All the Trump family sucks. That's the new Democratic methodology to get in majorities in 2 houses and win the presidency back and all be back to normal. Meantime, no tax cuts, no Obamacare repeal, no nothing. Right? Nothing. Oh, but there is an online gambling ban coming up by Charlie Dent. Oh, they're doing that because, well, the Senate Leadership Committee, well, they're getting $20 million from Sheldon Adelson. So don't worry about tax cuts for the middle class. Don't worry about getting our jobs back. Don't worry about the Ford plant that just went to China. Don't worry about dumping aluminum and steel. Don't worry about any of that stuff. Don't worry about wars, sending troops to Afghanistan. By the way, Trump taking a second look at that. We're going to have an AUMF vote. Thanks to my good friend Walter Jones and others. They need 26 votes on the Appropriation Committee. Forget all that. That's just, you know what, that's all that stuff. All that's going to do is help the poor working slobs of America that are trying to make ends meet. Screw them. They don't have any money to give us. Let's focus on our online gambling ban because there are people gambling online in states like Virginia. You can gamble online in Virginia very legally. You go to Twin Spires. You can go to ExpressBet. Let's ban that. Because if we ban that, then we can keep getting $20 million in our Senate Leadership Fund from, guess who? You got it. Sheldon Adelson. $20 million, Senate fund, funds all these campaigns worth $35 billion. So for him, it's like, hey, put a 50 cents in the vending machine. Right? $20 million. Keep getting that money, and let's focus on stopping online gambling so the poor working slob can't bet $2 on a race in Virginia. They're going to have to go to his casino. That's what they're focused on. This town, I tell you what, you come up here. I don't know how Tom Garrett does it every day. I just don't know how he does it. I don't know how he gets up every day, comes here every week. I don't know how he does it. It's unbelievable what goes when you come here and you get in the weeds and we got nothing going on, nothing passed, and they're slipping in, Charlie Dent is slipping in this bill in appropriations, the Restoration of America's Wire Act. That's what they're focused on because they get the money. Bought, sold, paid for. Here to straighten this all out, Congressman, 5th District, Tom Garrett. And Tom, we need a breath of fresh air to help us today. Thanks for being with us. What's going on here?
The first thing, can you turn up the volume on my side of the phone? Second thing, where did these crybabies come from? I mean, did Mark Warner just invoke a citizenship oath? which he's never taken in his entire life. I mean, and Tim Kaine talking about treason, which no one has been convicted in this country of since 1952. I mean, please spare me. Please spare me. I can't stand the histrionics. The Soviet Union, not the Russians, colluded with Ted Kennedy in 1980. Colluded directly with the Democrat Party in 1980. And nobody said a word. But
to defeat Jimmy Carter.
Donald Trump Jr. was asked to attend a meeting, right? He didn't
by a friend.
ask for the meeting. He was asked to attend a meeting. The legal definition of entrapment is to cause someone to do something they wouldn't have done on their own, but for the cause of the event. So can they calm down, please, and get back to work solving the problems of the American people? I've never seen anything like it. It's mind-numbing. I don't think these guys have any idea how silly they seem to about 65% of the American public. Now, 35% of the American public loves it. Last time I looked, that was less than 50%. All we need to do is turn people out next year. They're out of control.
Tom, I agree with you. I mean, I've been saying this all morning. You know, I've had a bunch of callers today very upset. Tim Kaine calling for treason and Mark Warner impeachment. I mean,
1952, John. That was the last time someone was convicted of treason in this country.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea. Is Donald Trump Jr. now Julius and Ethel Rosenberg? Is he turning over nuclear secrets to the Soviet Union? Or did someone call him and say, we have salacious information on your opponent, to which he said, oh, well, that'd be good. I mean,
yeah, that'd be great. No, he said, sure. Hey, set up a phone call. I'm traveling. I mean, the meeting was so riveting. He's like, yeah, set a phone call up for a couple of minutes in between my layovers. I mean, the whole thing, he did nothing. And Congressman, the email to set the meeting up or to have the phone call was from Rod Goldstone, who is a promoter and a associate of his that works as a contractor on certain things like the pageant for the Trump organization. So it's not like he got this email from somebody, you know, Joseph Krenskotsky at Kremlin.com. I mean, he got a phone call and an email from somebody that he knows and works with, who's a professional promoter.
Covering for the Trumps right now, it's Joseph Kresnovsky. That's your problem.
Joseph Kresnovsky
so
at Kremlin.com. I mean,
truly,
come on, man.
We have real problems as a country. Let me tell you something that you don't know. On Thursday, when we vote on the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, we will establish a new branch of the military, the Space Corps. I don't know. Air Force Academy cadets are Air Force cadets. Naval Academy cadets are midshipmen. I think these will be space cadets. But nobody in the viewing public knows that we're about to establish an entire new branch of the military, the Space Corps. And Tim Kaine is very concerned that someone called Donald Trump Jr. Last year, who might have been of Russian ancestry and had deleterious information on Hillary Rodham Clinton. Yeah. When he said treason, I thought, is Ms. Clinton the United States of America? Because receiving bad information about an individual, last time I looked, in no way, shape, or form was a challenge to the United States of America. But apparently the Democrats have confused their candidate with the entire nation. But yeah, no, seriously, on Thursday, we're going to vote to establish an entire new branch of the military. It's never made the news. This is the sort of thing that bothers me. I'm a no right now on the NDAA because I think the American people and the Congress, who allocates funds under Article 1, should have a say in whether or not we establish an entire new branch of the military and what its roles are, et cetera. But yeah, that's the sort of stuff that's actually going on, and this is what the Democrats want to talk about.
Okay, so in the NDAA, let's look. I'm not even aware of this. Okay, so this is why we love having you on.
Until a couple days ago. I mean,
tell us what's going on. So. Tell us why we need a new branch of. You've got Air Force, Army, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard. Why do we need Space Corps?
The truth is, to be fair, we're getting really behind the eight ball as it relates to taking the next generation high ground, which is outer space. Militarized space is a scary concept. We'd like to stop and think before we do it, but the Russians and the Chinese are already there. as a result, in the National Defense Appropriations Act, there is essentially an unfunded mandate that the Air Force shall establish a sub-branch, just like the Marine Corps is to the Navy, of the Air Force called the Space Corps. There is no money for them to do it. By 2019, they are to have done it. They anticipate 40 to 50,000 men and women in uniform, members of the Space Corps, tongue-in-cheek, Space Cadets. But nobody's heard anything about it. And again, while I am all in favor of defending our nation and maintaining some parity or hopefully a degree of advantage over our potential adversaries in that realm, I don't think it should be done by the dark of night as a sub-item in a bill that no one's ever heard about. We shouldn't wake up one morning, find out there's a new Space Corps that the 535 women and men, given the responsibility to oversee legislation, tell them about after they've already passed it. That's not how it's supposed to work.
Okay, so what is the motivate? It was easy for me to blast the Charlie Dent restoration of America's Wire Act because I follow the money. Okay, this is a complete waste of time. Somebody wants to bet $2 on Twin Spires in Charlottesville. Who the hell cares? Look, I can follow the money on that, so I get it. Okay, I get it. On the NDAA, who is behind adding another branch of military? What's the genesis of this?
So the argument in favor of is the line chart that sort of illustrates what the decision chain is in order for us to do things involving national defense and outer space. And it is truly, truly frightening in its complexity and its depth. In other words, and this is going to, I hope you're sitting down. In other words, the federal government is stunningly inefficient.
Wow.
I get it, and I'm sympathetic. However, I don't think the way to solve federal government inefficiency is to create new branches of federal government. So the argument is that by giving an entity the singular mission of space defense, it'll essentially allow us to be more efficient as we pursue defending our nation from space. It blew my mind because, contrary to what some might say, I'm very attentive, that I heard about it so late in the game and that it was a sub-item I would encourage your listeners to Google Space Corps NDAA, and you'll find one or two articles. And that's CORPS, as opposed to what President Obama said when he called a corpsman a corpsman. And so, again, I'm not opposed to the concept, and I certainly would like to create a more efficient government, particularly in the realm of national defense. But we shouldn't be voting on it as a sub-entity to a bill. This is an entire another branch of the military. There's no money for the Air Force, which is already overburdened as it relates to upholding their responsibilities. So, yeah, that's what's going on. But we got Tim Kaine and Mark Warner who want to talk about citizenship oaths and treason, which, again, Kaine, he's just a lawyer that went to Harvard. You know? I mean, come on, man.
Okay, so here's my position on it. Tell me if I'm wrong. I think the more they do this, treason, citizenship oaths, impeachment, when there is absolutely, Congressman Tom Garrett, nothing there. My position is I think it's going to blow up in their face, because what are any of these Democrats doing for working men and women right now that are listening to this show or that are in Virginia or anywhere in America that are struggling to make ends meet at the end of the month? Do you know how many people, congressmen,
you know what, John,
live week to week in this
both
country?
Both of us are wrong, and Tim and Mark are right. It is the little boy who cried wolf. It's not just the Democrats. It's the entire Fourth Estate. It's the entire media. As everyone screams and yells about the conflagration that we find ourselves in, American citizens know the challenges they face just to go to work and pay their inflated insurance premiums. And God forbid someone gets sick and need to pay a deductible that's 5 times what it was 6 years ago. It is the little boy who cried wolf. And the tragedy is that the Jeffersonian construct of government has an important role for the press, has an important role in an adversarial political system, that people should receive different opinions of the same facts so that they can make informed decisions. But it's gotten to the point of ridiculity. I mean, I don't know what to do with it. If it weren't so serious, it would be funny.
It is.
And listen, let me be clear. Investigate Donald Trump Jr. I think you'd agree with me on that. But based on what we know and how it came about, to talk about treason and citizenship oaths it's not even, I mean, it's stupid.
It is beyond stupid. And look, like I said at the beginning when you first came on, I mean, their entire platform is Trump sucks. That's what they're going to run on. I think it's a loser. Tax reform, where is it?
Well, we're going to save all the money when we create a Space Corps. No, I'm kidding. I'll tell you what, without delving into details that I can't delve into, a lot of things are hung up on health care because there's so much money that either will or won't be available for us to create a budget moving forward, depending upon what we do with health care. I tell you, about February of this year, I was talking about discharging a clean repeal of the ACA because that's pretty much what every Republican ran on.
Right.
And it is now July, and I think we were borderline prescient. I mean, we either need to do what we said we were going to do or look the voters in the face, at least some of us, and say, well, we didn't mean it, which is ridiculous. But the tax reform, there's a stomach for it. There's a desire for it. There is even some bipartisan consensus for it, which is mind-numbing in this ridiculous age of no. But if you're trying to make a budget and you got a line item that's 6, 7, 8% of the entire budget, you kind of need to know where that line item is going to be before you make the budget, and that's, I think, what's taking us up right now.
It's very frustrating, Congressman, for those of us following this, and no Obamacare repeal. Now Mitch McConnell is saying that he's going to extend, no recess. I'm for that. But instead of saying we're going to stay here till it's done, he puts 2 weeks on it. So I don't know what that means. I mean, it's a time clock without an objective.
Let me say this. I called very early, probably a full month ago, to cancel the August recess.
Right.
There's no reason to cancel the August recess unless somebody's actually going to do something.
Bingo.
I mean, that's the same sort of demonstrative lie. Sorry, I couldn't find a gentler euphemism. As a lot of the other stuff folks do up here. If we're going to cancel the August recess, and we should, it needs to be because we're going to get things done. And I'm not going to name names, but there are members of the congressional delegation, say from, I don't know, Virginia, who ran on repeal and replace Obamacare, who can't find anything that would ever be good enough for them to vote for it. And, it frustrates me to no end. Either you believe in it or you don't. But, again, I'll say this for the 50,000th time. We're a nation of people descended from individuals who knew that if they were captured by the enemy, they would die. Devolved into individuals who try to figure out what lie to tell to keep their job. Really? Is that who we've become? And so, if you come up here and you're so concerned with getting reelected that you'll say or do whatever you need to say or do to get reelected, you need to find something else to do with your life. We need to get rid of you. The women and men, the Barbara Johns and the Thomas Jeffersons who gave us what we have, faced far greater odds and overcame far greater challenges than any current member of Congress, save perhaps Brian Mast, who lost 2 limbs and 3 fingers in a war. And we need to man and woman up and do our jobs and not tell people we believe in something that we don't believe in. Citizenship oath. Are you seriously?
You are so right. I got a text here I got to read. Corey in Williamsburg says, say amen to Congressman Tom Garrett. We're out of time, Congressman. I want to thank you for this time. Hey, I'm in town this week. Let's catch up. You're always I got to get you on every week.
I apologize to you and your listeners. I think we've missed a week or two, and so we'll try to be a little better.
it's tough, not because, we always got plenty to talk about. We know you're busy, but it's like we don't get out. We need you to just get everybody grounded. All right. You're like our grounding guy. And so, I need the Tom Garrett fix once a week. Like, you just need the fix. Tom Garrett, thanks for being with us, man. Keep up the good work. We'll catch up during the week. Hope you're well.
Yeah. And again, Google search Space Corps. That's for President Obama. That's CORPS, NDAA. Learn about that. Again, I'm not opposed to the idea. It shouldn't be done in the dark at night.
All right. And do me a favor, Tom Garrett, when you get a minute in between meetings, look into this Charlie Dent bill. I mean, this thing stinks to high heaven. This is just another swamp monster bill aimed to hurt just working class people that want to go online and place a bet for $5. It is outrageous behavior.
Well, it's interesting when John Fredericks, Tom Garrett, and Louise Lucas all align as it relates to policy relating to gambling.
It's an amazing thing, isn't it?
Have a great day, and thank you. God bless and Godspeed.
Cats and dogs can live together.